It made me feel so bad and insecure, and as much as I didn't want to admit it, I knew that Nickerson was simply using me to hide his true feelings for his best friend. How does it feel to be in love, and why does it make a lot of people so giddy? I used to think about this a lot when I was a little girl, but eventually I found out what love was when I was in just 10th grade. You can call me Beverly, and I want to share with you the story of the joys and pains that came with my 10th grade romance. If you've ever been in love before, like this video and subscribe. Be sure to activate the notification bell to keep updated with more fascinating stories like this. The first time I walked into my 10th grade science classroom, I saw a student at his desk busily reading the book The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Wow, what a deep book to read. Now, bookworms weren't exactly my type. But this guy kind of looked like Harry Styles, and he had such beautiful curly blonde hair. It was so majestic that I was even tempted to run my fingers through it whenever I walked by him. I would sit next to my best friend in the opposite end of the room from my new crush, and spent most of my time in class trying to get a good glimpse of his cute face. I learned that his name was Nickerson. When the teacher was randomly pairing us up for lab work, I crossed my fingers and hoped that I'd be paired with Nickerson. My heart leaped with joy when, by sheer luck, he did become my lab partner. We sat together in our assigned table, and he glanced at me with his amazingly blue eyes. My face and neck felt so warm, and my knees got weak. My heart fluttered and pounded so loudly. I smiled awkwardly as the idea of blue-eyed Nickerson babies flew through my brain. What was happening to me? Was this what love felt like? I didn't know, but I was certain with one thing. Science class was going to be extremely exciting this year. Over the days, I tried to learn a lot about Nickerson. I found out that he was preparing to enroll at a military academy. No wonder he was seriously reading that book earlier. I also discovered that many girls were interested in him, but he didn't pay any attention to any of them, except for this perky, pretty girl with an annoying giggle. Her name was Connie, and she was often around Nickerson. They were best friends, and it seemed like Nickerson kind of had a thing for her, even if she already did have a boyfriend. It drove me absolutely nutso. How was I supposed to get Nickerson's attention when Connie was always around? The only time I had him for myself was during science class. So I took that opportunity to get real close with him. I intentionally worked real slow so that we couldn't finish our experiments during class time. It gave me the perfect excuse to see him outside of class. We often would meet up to work on that after school, and maybe my charms worked because eventually Nickerson asked me out. I was so excited. We went out for a few months, but I noticed that even though I was his girlfriend, his attention was always on Connie. He always made himself available to her whenever she needed him. It just took one little text from Connie and bam, Nickerson would go running to her, even when we were on a date with each other. Connie always came first, and I was second. It made me feel so bad and insecure, and as much as I didn't want to admit it, I knew that Nickerson was simply using me to hide his true feelings for his best friend. He was friend-zoned. She chose another guy, and it just so happened that I was there, so he probably used me to fill the void in his heart that only Connie can fill. I was extremely hurt. I really liked Nickerson, but I can't stay in a relationship where I'm not valued. So I bid my first love goodbye. That was the year I learned that we can fall in love and get heartbroken. There are a few lucky people who find their great love in 10th grade and they end up marrying each other. But for the most of us, a crush could simply be just that, a crush. But just know that there are a lot of other interesting people to come in the future. What we should prioritize is developing our personalities, learning new stuff, and becoming better versions of us so that when we meet the one, we can offer them the best version of ourselves. Right now, if your love life is not working out the way you think it should be, don't get stuck in an unhealthy relationship. Get back up and walk away. And then keep walking until you find the person who is meant for you. Do you have an unrequited love story? Share it with us in the comment section below, and your story might just be featured next. If you enjoyed this story, share this video to your friends, and let's get it to 1,000 likes. And don't forget to check out our other nutty stories.